Hello friends, in this video lecture we will discuss about histology of alimentary canal, that also known as gut or gastrointestinal tract. So first about histology. What is histology? So this is study of tissues. Histo is about tissue and logos is about study. So tissue, as we know, this is group of cells which are same in their origin and function. So here how internally alimentary canal is organized, we have to discuss about that one. So when we see the alimentary canal with the help of microscope, there are four basic layers. This is from external to internal side. As you can see in the diagram, the outermost one is known as visceral peritoneum or serosa. The second one is muscularis. The third one is submucosa, while the fourth one is mucosa. So simply by the trick SMSM or SMSM, you can memorize all these four layers in a proper sequence, external to internal. So first about outermost layer, that is serosa or visceral peritoneum. So here you can see this is a very thin membranous layer that is organized by mesothelium plus connective tissue. What is mesothelium? So mesothelium is epithelium of visceral organ. And what is epithelium? So epi for upon. This is the outermost layer which is present around any of the structure. So this serosa is made by mesothelium, that is visceral epithelium plus connective tissue. Now one thing that is very important and unique, this is about serosa of esophagus. Here in the case of esophagus, serosa is absent, but esophagus is covered by a dense elastic fibrous connective tissue that is known as adventitia externa. So serosa is absent or lacking in esophagus. Why? Because esophagus is outside the coelom. Coelom is about the body cavity. The second layer is muscularis. This is made by two layers. You can clearly see in the diagram. The outer one is longitudinal muscles, while the inner one is made by circular muscles. Both these layers are of smooth muscles that are involuntary in nature. In between these two layers, there is a network of nerve cells plus parasympathetic nerve fiber. So both these along with each, they are forming a network of nerves that is known as Auerbach's plexus or mesenteric plexus. What is the role of this plexus? So this plexus is for regulation of peristalsis of alimentary canal. One thing that is very unique about this muscularis layer, in case of stomach region, this muscularis is carrying oblique muscle layer, and this one is inner towards the circular muscle fiber. This one is for providing additional support, additional muscular activities for physical digestion in case of stomach. The third layer is submucosa. So submucosa is composed by loose connective tissue. This is richly or densely supplied with blood vessels as well as lymph vessels. Here is also presence of network of neurons. So as we discussed in case of muscularis, there was a network of nerve cell plus parasympathetic nerve fiber. Here in submucosa, there is a network of nerve cell plus sympathetic nerve fiber, and the association of both is known as Meissner's or submucosal plexus. This Meissner's or submucosal plexus is for regulation of intestinal secretions. And again, there is one very important interesting point for submucosa of duodenum. This carries Brunner's gland, that is mucus secreting gland, and they are limited only and only in submucosa region. Now the last innermost one is mucosa. This mucosa carrying a number of folds in various regions of alimentary canal. Like in case of stomach, these are modified irregular folds known as rugae, while in case of small intestine, there is a number of finger-like projections, that is modified mucosa. This is known as villi, while in case of large intestine, this modified in form of haustra. Now again one more point that is very interesting about mucosa. So the cell lining of villi further carries a very small tiny micro projections. These projections are known as microvilli. They provide brush bordered appearance to the small intestine, and all these kind of modifications just for increasing surface area that will maximize the metabolic activities. So what we discuss in the diagrammatic portion is given again here about histology of alimentary canal or gut or gastrointestinal tract. As we discussed, the transverse section or TS of alimentary canal carries 4 parts from external to internal side. These 4 are respectively serosa, muscularis, submucosa and mucosa. Serosa is the outermost one, while mucosa is the innermost one. By this trick you can easily memorize initials of each one, S, M, S, M. So simply like SMS and M, you can memorize all these 4 layers, and they are very important for exam point of view. The first layer, that is serosa, also known as visceral peritoneum. As we discussed, this is outermost layer made up with the help of mesothelium, that is epithelium of visceral organ, plus connective tissue. This serosa is absent in esophagus region. Why? Because esophagus is outside of the coelom, and this esophagus in place of serosa is covered by a dense elastic fibrous connective tissue that is known as adventitia externa. Second layer is muscularis, that is made up by 2 layers of muscles. Outer layer is by longitudinal muscles, while inner layer is by circular muscles. So here longitudinal LO you can memorize. Longitudinal, that is L and O, means O for outer, that is made by longitudinal muscles. Circular CI, this is I for inner and C for circular. So you can memorize inner one is made by circular muscles, while outer one is made by longitudinal muscles, and both these layers are smooth muscles. Here in between outer longitudinal and inner circular, there is a network of nerve cells plus parasympathetic nerve fiber. Both these network of nerve cell and parasympathetic nerve fiber, they will form Auerbach's plexus or mesenteric plexus, that is for control of alimentary canals peristalsis. That is a kind of wave-like movement by which food passes in forward direction from mouth towards anus. So how you can correlate easily and memorize all these networks? So this is trick map. So M here in map, M is for muscularis, A is for Auerbach's, and P is for parasympathetic nervous system, or you can say M for mesenteric also. So M, A, P. Which nerve fiber or which nervous system is connected with this muscularis layer? So this is parasympathetic. And what is the name of network? This is Auerbach's plexus or mesenteric plexus. So by the trick map, again M for muscularis, A for Auerbach's plexus, and P for parasympathetic nerve fiber. This Auerbach's or mesenteric is for regulation of peristalsis of alimentary canal. Now as we discussed earlier, in case of muscularis layer, there is presence of an additional oblique muscle layer in case of stomach, and this is towards inner side of the circular muscularis. This one is for providing additional physical activities to stomach for physical or mechanical digestion of food, that is about breaking of food by muscular activities. The third layer is submucosa. So this is composed by loose connective tissue, and this is highly supplied with blood vessels as well as lymph vessels. Here there is also network of nerve cells as well as sympathetic nerve fiber. These both in association are forming Meissner's nerve plexus. This one is in submucosa region, so also known as submucosal plexus, and this plexus or network is for controlling intestinal secretion or intestinal juice secretion. So as in case of muscularis we discussed, there is presence of Auerbach's or myenteric nerve plexus. That was because of association of nerve cells as well as parasympathetic nerve fiber. Same here in this submucosal region, there is network of nerve cell plus sympathetic nerve fiber, and they are forming Meissner's or submucosal plexus. So as we discussed trick for muscularis plexus, here there is also the same trick like SMS. In case of muscularis we discuss the trick MAP. So M for muscularis, A for Auerbach's, P for parasympathetic. Here S for submucosa, M for Meissner's, and S for sympathetic nerve fibers. So by trick SMS you can easily memorize which nerve fiber is connected with which layer of alimentary canal. Now the important thing that we discuss, duodenal region, that is the earliest part of small intestine which is appearing C or U shape in nature, in its submucosa carrying specific glands that are known as Brunner's gland. They are also mucus secreting gland. So this one is limited only in submucosal region of duodenum. The last and innermost layer is mucosa that carries a number of infoldings. These infoldings in stomach region are highly irregular and known as rugae, while in case of small intestine these infoldings are appearing like finger-like and they are considered as villi. We also discussed in case of small intestine there is presence of plicae circularis, that also known as valve of Kerckerin's. Just over the surface of these villi there is further a number of very fine tiny microscopic projections that are known as microvilli, and we discuss all infoldings are always for increasing surface area, that is for maximizing the metabolic activities which occurring in that particular place. This tiny microscopic projections will also provide brush like or brush border like appearance to the small intestine. There are further a number of details related with histology of gut or alimentary canal, like each villi internally supplied with a network of blood capillaries as well as lymph vessels. So these lymph vessels are known as lacteales. They are for absorption of lipid from the alimentary canal. The mucosal epithelium, that is innermost layer mucosa, also carries goblet cells, and they are for secretion of mucus that will help in lubrication as well as easy passage of food. They also provide protection of innermost layer, that is mucosa, from the harmful effect of gastric juice as well as intestinal juice, because they are respectively acidic and alkaline in nature. Mucosa also form gastric gland in stomach that are responsible for a number of enzymatic as well as hydrochloric acid secretion. In case of small intestine, this will form crypts that are present at the base or in between the two villi, that is also known as crypts of Leber-Cohen, and they are for secretion of intestinal juices that also known as succus entericus. So all these four layers, that is serosa, muscularis, submucosa, mucosa, The trick is SMSM. They show a number of modifications in different parts of alimentary canal. As we discussed, serosa is absent in case of esophagus region. In case of stomach, there is additional muscular layer. In case of stomach as well as small intestine and large intestine, mucosa is folded to form a number of projections. So all these informations are very important. Now about MCQs. These are related with the same topic or the same video post that will help a little bit improve in your learning. What you learn here from this video lecture, you can just check by solving these problems. This will helpful for improving your knowledge. So this is question number 1. Lymphatic vessels within intestinal villi which transport lipid to the circulatory system are called capillaries, crypts, canaliculi and lacteals. Second question, folds in the mucosa of stomach are called rugae, plicae, villi or crypts. The third question, submucosal gland occurs in duodenum, ileum, jejunum and appendix. And now about the answers related with previous video quiz that was based on intestinal gland. So here answer is just before you. You can check this one if you already replied, or if you did not see till now, then you can go and check the questions. Thanks for watching. Keep continue for the next coming videos.